This is Ponder Darling, My Busted Heart, and I was watching this video on Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. I love Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. I binge watch it sometimes because David is really sweet. And he's very comforting. It's very comforting. So he was doing this video and he was like, hey, if anybody... one of the viewers asked this question, like, what happens when a narcissist is really, really sick? And he said, if anybody has experience with that, chime in. And I was like, I've got experience with that. And I was like, basically, all he could do was complain about, what was going on with him physically, how terrible it was, how bad he felt. And I took care of him for a year. I saved his life. I kept him alive, and then it didn't matter to him. He left me and discarded me anyway. Even though I was keeping him alive, even though I was like totally taking care of him so he wouldn't die. And, he used to say stuff like, oh, I'm not going to die. Of course, then he would complain like he was going to die in 2 minutes, like, oh, I'm so sick all the time. So, I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. It's very sad. So, after I posted that stuff, I have been thinking about it a lot. And what has really come up for me, what I've come to realize by thinking about, the issue of, here's this person that that I took care of, who discarded me anyway. I can sit there and go, why did he leave me? How could he, do that? What happened? I can come to conclusions about what, him choosing someone else or whatever. But here's the bottom line of it. This is the part that's really disturbing. The bottom line of it is that he would rather die than be with me. That's the bottom line. That I offered him a really nice life with, all his needs being met. And he is not going to get his needs met anywhere else. Not as completely as I met his needs. So the real truth with a capital T is that I was so insignificant to him, so unimportant to him, that he would rather die than be with me. And you may be watching this, if anybody watches this, going, well, why would you even, why would you even care about somebody like that? I can think about it 2 different ways. I can think about it like, wow, he's really a creep. Or I can think about it like, wow, I'm going to internalize this and I'm going to feel like fatally flawed because this person, like, would rather die than be with me. So, and I wish I could, give you this, answer like, oh, it's, here's how I have, reconciled it. But I think that right there, that's going to take some time to reconcile. That's going to take some that's going to take some time to heal. That's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. There are things worse than being beaten. I'm here to tell you, because I have been beaten, so I know how that feels. And I'm here to tell you there are things worse. And when someone that you love, that claims to love you, takes you and just throws you in a dumpster and, just makes it very, very clear that you are completely worthless, that is, it's so much worse than somebody getting pissed at you and losing their composure and hitting you. I'm not saying that hitting someone is okay. I'm just saying that the effect of it is, it's the worst. It's the worst. I mean, I have a friend of mine is like, well, what, so what? He just, what does it matter? He's gone now. That was his choice. He made a choice and he's gone. And that's another reason why I love David in Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend, because he acknowledges and he's very supportive of that feeling that, it's unkind not to give closure. It's unkind to just disappear and leave somebody wondering what the hell happened and why it happened. So anyway, my friend was like, so what? So, hasn't that ever happened to you before? And I was like, no, it hasn't happened to me before. I'm friends with my first husband. I'm friends with my second husband. My son's psychopath father has never rejected me. He has not. He stalks me. I mean, he's insane and he's incapable of love, but he's never actually thrown me away. He runs away, but then he comes back. So, and I made this other video and I decided not to post it, but it was about, me wondering if this whole thing that Jefferson did was just this huge revenge scheme. Because, when I was 16 years old, I broke up with him. And I am the only person who ever broke up with him. He dumped everybody else in his life. He dumped them. Even his baby mama, when his baby was only 2 years old, dumped them. I'm the only one. So if he wanted to take revenge and this whole thing was a revenge scheme, it would make everything would make sense. And that's about how much I feel like going into it. But, karma is a bitch and it's coming for him because he would rather die. So guess what? The universe will probably say, okay, you would rather die? Bye. Life is funny. Thanks.